In the previous lecture, I shared with you the reason why we sometimes see the world from a self-centered perspective, which is because we are not aware that each of us has a unique psychological world. This unique psychological world is a mapping of the current physical world, mixed with the preset of our innate genes, and shaped by our postnatal experiences. More importantly, when you try to understand someone else's psychological world, it will permanently change that person's psychological world, just like a stone thrown into a calm lake will cause ripples. This is the theme of today's lesson, the force and reaction force of psychology. The magical IQ test. The best demonstration of this phenomenon comes from a magical experiment on improving children's IQ. Psychologists from Harvard University went to an elementary school and conducted IQ tests on the children. After the test, the psychologists divided the children into two groups and told the teachers, Group A children have great potential and their IQ will improve significantly in the next year, while Group B children have no potential and their IQ will not improve much in the next year. After that, the psychologists left the school. What the teachers did not know was that the psychologists had randomly assigned the children to the two groups, and there was no difference in IQ or potential between Group A and Group B. 1 year later, the psychologists returned to the school and asked the teachers how the children in Group A and Group B had developed over the past year. The teachers said that the professor was amazing, and the children in Group A had become very smart, while the children in Group B had not improved much. You may say that this is because the teachers lack objective judgment and believe in the experts' opinions. If you have this doubt, the test conducted by the psychologists may truly shock you. The psychologists conducted IQ tests on these children and found that the IQ of the children in Group A, who were randomly assigned as having potential, did indeed improve significantly. On the other hand, the IQ of the children in Group B, who were randomly assigned as having no potential, did not change at all. This phenomenon is called the self-fulfilling prophecy or the Pygmalion effect in psychology. The Pygmalion effect, the force of psychology. The psychologists made a random prediction, which was eventually realized. What happened during that year? The reason is very simple. When the teachers were told that Group A children had potential, they paid more attention to this group of children. When a child in Group A said that 1 + 1 is equal to 3, the teacher would think it was a random mistake, or even think that the child was creative, so the child in Group A would receive a lot of positive encouragement. On the other hand, when a child in Group B said that 2 + 3 is equal to 5, the teacher would think that they only answered the question correctly by chance. It was the different attitudes of the teachers towards Group A and Group B children that affected the children's development and ultimately made their IQs change according to the psychologists' predictions. This phenomenon is called the self-fulfilling prophecy or the Pygmalion effect in psychology. The name comes from a Greek myth about a sculptor named Pygmalion, who fell in love with a statue he had carved and prayed to the goddess Aphrodite to bring it to life. The Pygmalion effect means that when we expect something to happen, it will happen. The self-fulfilling prophecy, the reaction force of psychology. The above is the force of psychology. Now let's look at the reaction force of psychology. In physics, there is an atom called cesium-133, which oscillates 9,192,631,770 times per second. This oscillation frequency is eternal and unchanging, no matter who observes it with admiration or disdain. This is the thinking mode we often use in natural science, precise but cold, objective but lacking in human feelings. However, this mechanical thinking mode is no longer applicable when we observe people because our attitudes can affect others' external behavior and internal psychology. If we treat others rudely, we cannot expect them to greet us with a smile. Therefore, the environment around us is not naturally existing and unchanging. On the contrary, we create it ourselves. If we do not realize that our attitudes towards others can affect their reactions during the process of interacting with them, we will have big problems, such as depression. What is depression? Its core symptom is long-term and high-intensity negative emotions. At the beginning, negative emotions may come from setbacks in career, the death of loved ones, breakups, or exam failures, etc. However, these negative events alone cannot lead to depression. What brings us into a vicious circle is our self-fulfilling prophecy. When you start to feel sad, you will think of more negative things, see more negative behaviors around you, and then you will have more negative behaviors and emotions. Your negative emotions and behaviors will also affect your friends and colleagues, so they will gradually find it difficult to deal with you, and even avoid you or leave you. This will make you feel more isolated and fall into deeper depression. Over time, your self-fulfilling prophecy will construct a pessimistic world full of negative emotions for you. Therefore, the third purpose of learning psychology is to learn how to create a comfortable environment around us. As the saying goes, if you give a rose to someone, you will leave the fragrance in your hand. What kind of world you have depends on how you approach it. The choice between a gun and a rose is up to you.